Hi, welcome to my new channel, Hidden from Sight. I want to talk about goals today because it's the beginning. It's January 2025, and I've been asking a lot of people, do they set goals? And I haven't always set goals, but more recently, since I've obviously learnt about the mind and learnt about how the mind functions and how to get more out of life, I've realised the importance of goals and how crucial they are. And obviously, I get a mixed bag. A lot of people are sort of not really believing in the value of New Year's resolutions. And I get that it doesn't need to be at the beginning of the year. You can set goals at any point. It doesn't need to be at the beginning of the year. But it's just a bit of a tradition we do, I suppose. But why are goals important? Now, in the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, which I highly recommend you read, or anyone who wants to improve their understanding of themselves or life in general, and to perform better and to get more out of themselves. Psycho-Cybernetics, he talks about how our mind, we have a subconscious and a conscious mind, which most people are aware of, but what a lot of people are not aware of is that he describes it as we're not a machine, but we have a type of machine. Now, what is he talking about? He says our mind, or part of our mind, is like a servo mechanism. And what is a servo mechanism? A servo mechanism, an illustration of a servo mechanism, could be a heat seeker missile, or the thermostat on your central heating. So let's just summarize, what does that do? With a heat seeking missile, it has a predetermined target. If it goes off course because of the wind's pulled it somewhere else, it auto corrects itself and heads for the target again. It's tracking a specific target. So it's working off the premise that as soon as it doesn't change direction until it's failing. In other words, it's on target. It's not on target anymore, so then it autocorrects. With the thermostat, it's the same principle but slightly different. You set a predetermined temperature, say 70 degrees or 20 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees, whatever your preference is. Someone leaves the front door open. The temperature drops a little bit, so the heating comes on because it has to keep it at that preset temperature. Now, what Maxwell Maltz describes and says is that we've got a servo mechanism in our mind. Now, when we set goals, and you'll hear a lot of high achievers and people that have done well in life, they set themselves goals and they constantly make themselves aware of them, because the mind is looking for something to it's constantly looking for something to move towards, which is why the expression "what you focus on expands" has a lot of potency. Now, the reason why this is important for those people who are not setting goals, the servo mechanism is still working. We're not giving it a specific goal, but some people are wise to it, and they're flooding our attention with certain things like TV adverts and stuff like that. And so we've got a goal we want to move towards subconsciously, perhaps, but it's working all the same. Now, whatever we're filling our mind with, our mind is taking that as the preset goal, and we'll be moving towards that, and we'll be attracting circumstances, things and people that will bring us close to that eventuality. So this is why it's so important to consciously choose what you want, rather than allowing your environment or other people to put stuff into your mind, because you'll find yourself in a situation, which I often have in my own life, where I'm in an environment that I don't want to be in, and I think, well, how did I get here? What brought me to this point? And it's because I hadn't taken hold of the controls. So you need to set down, really, if you don't like where your life is, or where you're heading, you need to sit down. Where do I want to be? Now, I think it was said, I think Bob Proctor said in one of his speeches, people overestimate what can be done in, say, a few months, but underestimate what can be done in 3, 4, 5 years. So set yourself a goal in the future, and constantly, I think one of the things that in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill suggests, write on a card what your goal is and read it every morning and every night, and as often as you can, take it out and read it. So you're flooding your mind with that goal and feeding your mind. And what will happen is, because you've got to understand that 95% of all we do and everything we do in life generally is subconscious. So what is it acting off? It's acting off our beliefs, our preconditions, and any goals that we've set in there, any kind of instructions we've put in there. So it's so important to set goals. And I've got my goals. I've got my short-term goals, my medium-term goals, and my long-term goals. Even if you don't feel comfortable setting goals because you feel it might not be attainable, set some to build your confidence. What I did was to set very achievable goals that are not too far away, like saying I'm going to run 4 times, exercise 4 times this month. You've got 30 opportunities in that month to make that happen. Make some, and really set yourself a target that's achievable, and then make them more difficult. And then what you want to do is you want to get to a point where you're setting goals that are out of your reach, and so then what it's requiring you to do is to grow or to think outside the box. And all this will be done subconsciously as well, because you've already set the predetermined target, and your mind will be looking for things to make that happen or to facilitate that. So it might seem impossible at first, but then eventually you'll get the tools and the awareness of how to get there. So yeah, I just wanted to do it. This is my first video. I wanted to do a video about this because I think it's quite topical, being the beginning of the year, January. But I highly recommend reading Psycho-Cybernetics and maybe setting 2 or 3 goals. What you want to achieve this year, what you want to achieve in your life, and write them down. I think writing them down gives them a bit more energy, and saying them out loud morning and night as well will give some more energy as well. Anyway, that's my first video. It's a flavour of the kind of things I want to be talking about on this channel, things that I felt that have helped my life, and stuff that I think would be useful, little bits of information that I've picked up over the last 6 years of study. But until my next video, and yeah, good luck with setting your goals, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.